Hey guys, how are you doing? This is Emmy with 700 Club Interactive, and today I get the pleasure of sitting down with Bobbie Houston of Hillsong Church, and she just recently wrote this book, Stay the Path, that is an excellent read for anyone really of any age.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thanks for chatting.
yeah. So, what was your inspiration behind writing Stay the Path?
Okay. Well, first I got given a great opportunity to do it, but obviously, I am a pastor, and we have Hillsong Church, which is made up of it's a local church, but it's got a really big global footprint these days. So there's just lots of fabulous and gorgeous people like yourself who's part of our church, and so with this book, I had an opportunity to perhaps write a little bit more in a leadership vein and to really kind of give expression to some of the things that have kept me on the path and going forward. And so that's what I tried to do. I think I took some of the language, of my journey, again, with humility of heart, not assuming that I know everything, but if my journey could teach you anything, what would I say?
That's powerful. It's a powerful message. One of my favorite parts of the book is when you talk about listening to the wind song.
Yeah,
Can you explain
the wind words?
the wind words?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Can you explain to me what does that mean? What do you mean?
Okay, well, really, the idea of wind words.
Yeah.
It's not really an orchestra, but in Revelation, if you look at the 7 letters to the 7 churches, it talks. I think in the message it says, "Listen to the wind words blowing through the churches," or "Listen to the Spirit blowing through the churches." And I love that thought. I love it because I love the thought of church. I love the idea of local church, and I know local church is broad and diverse and wonderful. It looks different all around the world, but Jesus said the one thing that I've come to do is build my church, and the church is people. So He loves the church. He loves what it represents, which is the human heart, people like you and I doing life and doing the journey. And in Revelation, those 7 letters, which were perfect words to the 7 churches of that time, He spoke what they needed to hear. And I honestly believe that we're living in a day and an age where His Spirit is poured out. Acts chapter 2, Old Testament Joel, His Spirit is poured out, and He's wanting us to hear His Spirit. He's wanting us to hear His perfect words for our lives in order that we can live according to how we should and live strong, influential, beautiful lives and actually stay the path. So that chapter is written in that context, and also in context of the dreamscape of your life. Because, again, we're living in an era, I believe, of His Spirit poured out. And He said, you know what? You're going to dream dreams, you're going to have visions. I don't say that in a weird way. I say that in a manner that helps us to live strong and share that gospel with others. So, God has perfect wind words for you today. He has perfect words of His Spirit for me today and for anyone who's watching this.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful and so powerful. Finally, we have a lot of people, and I'm sure many of you who are watching right now have needs. And you talk towards the end of your book about people who are spent, spiritually spent. We have lots of people who would say, "That's me," who are watching right now. Do you mind just speaking to that person who is just so drained, maybe even like you say in the book, from good things, like they're doing good things, but they just feel completely spent? What would you say to that person?
Yeah. Well, to be honest, it's kind of a huge question in a small amount of time.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is, I gave a strong chapter to this in the book, and it's taken from experience. It's taken from what we've learned and discovered along the way. And I do think, as you labour, as anyone labours in life, in ministry, whatever they're called to do, career, business, you can get tired. You can feel like you've got nothing more to give.
Yeah.
And we can all get to that place. And in some ways, I kind of feel like we're supposed to actually get to the end of our lives, cross that finish line, and be spent. In other words, we've given everything that we had, God. We've given all for you. And that's a good place to be. But sometimes people feel that along the journey. They feel like they've got nothing else to give. They've got, that's it. I just need to stop now because I've got nothing more to give.
Yeah.
But, there's a place of exchange and divine exchange. And I write about that. There's a place where when we're at the end of ourselves, we discover that God has an abundance. God is this eternal God. He has, when our creativity is spent or our genius is spent in, career or business, or whether in ministry, we're thinking, how do we actually reach this city or this community? Or as a parent, you think, I'm at my wit's end to know what to do with these little people in my life. But it's at that point that God goes, yeah, but in that moment, as you wait on me, as you draw from my strength, his strength is made perfect in our weakness. When we do that divine exchange, we discover a well, a resource, an overflow that we would not have experienced had we abandoned the path or quit or laid down. And so for me, that chapter in there is very close to my heart. And it wasn't just learnt in theory. I'm not writing from theory, I'm writing from raw experience. And I share from moments learn on the field, doing what we're called to do, to moments watching my own children, my son Joel, and that team give everything, pour themselves out, and then discover this place of exchange.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
And thank you for joining us. It's a pleasure.
Lovely.
It's a pleasure.
Have a great day.
You too.
Gorgeous.
You too. Thanks for watching, everyone.